Iron Man fights with 3 giant robots. Robots slam Stark into the wall. Friday reports that the energy of the suit is 15%. Such are Tony's chances of surviving in this fight. The Hulk appears and shields his friend from the attack of robots. Robots shoot at the Hulk with green rays, and he turns into Bruce Banner. Tony enters the battle with the robots again. Bruce tries to turn into the Hulk, but to no avail. Stark takes his friend away from the fight. Bruce takes an experimental laser and attacks the robots. The villains say they got what they need. They punch a hole in the roof and fly away. In the tower, Falcon and Tony examine Bruce. Tony says that the villains used the gamma wave to deprive the Hulk of his abilities. Falcon says that Bruce's cells still emit gamma energy, but they will take time to restart. Stark asks if Bruce remembered who was hiding in the robot, but Banner can't remember. Bruce gets used to living without the Hulk. The Widow and the Captain do not take him to detain the Abomination, but Bruce finds something to do. He improves Captain America's helmet and Hawkeye arrows. An alarm sounds in the tower. Steel Corps attack the nuclear reactor. Tony orders all the Avengers except Bruce to advance on a mission. The Avengers arrive at the reactor and engage in battle with the villains. Steel Corps successfully repel the attack. 2 robots beat Thor with their feet. Bruce appears in a Hulkbuster suit and enters the battle with the villains. Bruce knocks the helmet off one of the robots and sees his old colleague Igor Drenkov under it. They work together on the Super Soldier program. Everything Igor was considered dead. Drenkov wants to recreate the explosion that turned Banner into the Hulk. Bruce says that thousands of people will be exposed to radiation in the event of a reactor explosion, but Drenkov does not care about human losses. The villain attacks Tony and Bruce with rockets and lasers, and then jumps into the reactor. Tony tries to shut down the reactor, but the system is blocked. Bruce says that the reactor needs to be cooled. He remotely controls the Hulkbuster gloves. The gloves dive into the river and break through the wall in the reactor room. The water cools the reactor and prevents an explosion. Drenkov flies away. Stark thanks Banner for his help, but asks him not to get into a fight anymore. In the tower, the Falcon says that Bruce's gamma radiation level is normal. Banner says that he felt it, but did not want to become the Hulk. He says that the fact that he is both strong and smart scares the Avengers themselves. Angry Bruce leaves the tower. In the alley, Drenkov puts Banner to sleep with a dart. Bruce wakes up in Drenkov's laboratory. The villain wants to pull gamma radiation from the Banner. This will turn Drenkov into a Hulk and kill Bruce himself. The Avengers break into the laboratory and attack the villains. The Widow climbs to Bruce and frees him. Drenkov absorbs gamma energy. He orders his henchmen to take away the gamma battery and rushes at the Avengers. Bruce follows the gamma battery, but the door to the vault closes in front of him. He causes a false alarm and the villains from the Steel Corps leave the vault. Bruce manages to slip inside. He connects the battery to the installation and sits in a chair. Bruce presses a button and turns into the Hulk. Drenkov scatters the Avengers. He wants to crush Stark, but the Hulk attacks the villain and punches them through the floor. The Hulk fights with Drenkov. The Avengers help him. The Hulk says that Drenkov needs to be placed in a devastating machine. The Avengers follow Bruce's plan. The Hulk beats Drenkov and pulls him out of his armor. The Hulk turns into a Banner and Bruce strikes Drenkov the last blow. Tony and Bruce are sitting in the workshop. Bruce says that Stark missed the cosine in his formula. Tony hits a friend with a light electric shock and Banner immediately turns into the Hulk. In Asgard, Thor conducts a training battle with his comrade Volstagg. Volstagg attacks Thor, but he suddenly receives a signal from the Avengers and stops the duel. Thor asks Heimdall to open the portal and goes to Earth. Volstagg sits down at the banquet table. Thor arrives in a small town, where he is met by Stark, the Captain, the Falcon, and the Hulk. Thor asks what kind of trouble happened to this town. The Falcon says that they would know it if they could see the city itself. The heroes enter a town shrouded in dense fog. The Hulk wants to disperse the fog with cotton, but Thor stops his friend and disperses the fog with a hammer. Frightened residents of the town are running to the Avengers. They are being chased by strange humanoid creatures. The Avengers engage in battle, but then a spaceship arrives and unknown heroes land from it. The Hulk says that this is a race called superhumans. Medusa and Karnak attack the creatures and they run away in fear. Thor greets Black Thunder, but he is silent. Medusa explains that Black Thunder does not talk, since the power of his voice can bring a lot of destruction. Another of the superhumans, the Seeker, appears. He says that the shipwreck with biomaterials was his fault. He says that these creatures were created to help in laboratories. The captain offers superhumans help in catching creatures, but the aliens arrogantly refuse. Tony analyzes the Terrigen mist and says that in addition to the suspension of Terrigen crystals, there was an unknown component. The Seeker replies that the unrefined Terrigen could cause aggression in alpha primitives. A piece of wall falls on Lockjaw's paw. The Hulk calms the dog. The Seeker says that he needs Terrigen crystals to calm the alpha primitives, but he must be here. The Hulk says that he has been to Adilon and can bring crystals. The Seeker gives the Hulk the key to the laboratory. Lockjaw and the Hulk teleport to Adilon. Lockjaw cannot go. The Hulk picks him up. Soldiers appear Adilana and decide that the Hulk wants to harm Lockjaw. They open fire and get into the key to the laboratory. The Hulk and Lockjaw run to the laboratory. In the library of the town, the Avengers and superhumans find a strange cocoon in the library. Karnak says that Earthlings should not be interested. Gorgon attacks Stark and a battle begins between the Avengers and superhumans. Thor tries to negotiate with Black Thunder, but then attacks him. Tony fights with Karnak. Karnak manages to damage Tony's armor. Karnak has the ability to find weaknesses in objects and use them. Gorgon fights with the captain. Falcon attacks Medusa. The Hulk breaks into the lab. The Hulk sends Lockjaw to look for the crystal, and he remains to fend off the soldiers. Stark flies away from Karnak. The captain and Gorgon break through the wall of the police station. The captain manages to lock Gorgon in a cell, but he kicks out the bars. Thor attacks Black Thunder with lightning bolts. Black Thunder whispers, "Enough is enough." The shock wave from his voice overturns cars and destroys houses. A jellyfish falls from a height, but a falcon catches it. A cocoon in the library explodes. The city is engulfed in flames. The Seeker says that an inferno has appeared. The heroes see a huge fiery monster on the streets of the city. Medusa says that the Avengers witnessed the birth of a Superman. The superhuman inferno destroys the city. Streams of flame burst out of the ground. Thor manages to convince Black Thunder to work together. Lockjaw finds the crystals, and they are transported to Earth together with the Hulk. Stark passes the crystals to the Seeker, who gives the recycled Terrigen to Thor and Black Thunder. Thor summons a thunderstorm. Black Thunder breaks an ampoule with Terrigen in the sky. Rain begins and Inferno turns into a simple young man. The new Superman's name is Dante, and he is completely stunned by the news that he is not human. The Avengers convince the superhumans to allow Dante to visit Earth to become an intermediary between the worlds. On Adilon, the Seeker talks to a stranger in a cloak. The stranger says that the days of Black Thunder are numbered, as are the days of the Avengers. The stranger raises his head. Ultron is hiding under the hood. Dear friends, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. This is important to me.